see people. This is
Hey,
pretty cool.
Pastor.
Hey guys, everybody, welcome to the Jobfather Jobseeker Community Radio. So it's me and Dana, your hosts.
Hey.
And guys, for a many of you guys that haven't heard us before or seen us before, Dana and I are both recruiters of a long time. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about how long.
Yeah. No need
But
to.
we have been actually, Dana is a talent acquisition manager where she is, and I have had a long history of being a talent acquisition director. Big old companies like IBM and Verizon and Citigroup. Oh my goodness. So guys, I have had a wonderful time serving job seekers since I have been so-called retired. I guess retirement doesn't really happen. You never really retire from recruiting. You build a brand and you keep going. So, welcome to the Job Father, guys. And you know what? We've got some wonderful guests today. You guys have probably seen on the notice that I sent out. There's Tim, there's Jules. Excellent. And Dana, we always start. We want to thank Joco Community Radio. You guys go to Joco Community Radio on LinkedIn. Guys, find that LinkedIn page and like and share that page.
Please.
Please do that, you guys. That
Yes.
helps us tremendously.
It
Helps us
does.
continue helping us get out across the entire United. Actually, on LinkedIn, we get across the entire planet Earth.
Which
Maybe if
we are
anybody's
starting to do so, right?
yeah, if anybody's on the moon, you guys can see us too, probably.
That's probably true.
That's a Foster's lame joke. Okay, so guys, Dana, if you wouldn't mind, we always start this show off with a prayer because we know who's running this thing. And if you would bring us in prayer, we would appreciate it.
Absolutely. What I can do is bring us in with a prayer and then make our Joco Community Radio announcement. So,
Oh, yeah. Let's do that too.
yeah, let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we are so honored to be here. The goal of this show is to help people understand and navigate searching for and securing job opportunities in today's society. We just pray that we would be used to help people and that you would guide us to share the most pertinent information to help people as they're interviewing and working on their resumes and networking, etc. We thank you for this opportunity. Amen. And for all our viewers, the Jobfather is brought to you by Joco Community Radio. Which is the proud voice of Johnson County, Texas. And hey, it's live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. Be sure to go to LinkedIn and like Joco Community Radio. And you can listen or watch by tuning in to joco.com. And you can choose where and how you want to tune in. Joco Community Radio app is also available now. So that's good. It's free. It's on Android and iOS devices or Apple. So you'll just go to your store, search it, download it, and check out the lineup. This episode and more is brought to you, which is really important, by Patriot Claims. So that Patriot Claims is great. They're focused on making your insurance actually work out for you. And we know this personally. Reach out to your Texas sales rep, Nona Reed, at 844-TECH-HAIL, which is 844-839-4245. So we are so excited everybody is here today. And Foster, I know you'll be introducing our expert for the first half, but share with us kind of our topic of focus as we start the first half of the show.
Yeah, our topic of focus is going to be networking. We want you guys to understand, all job seekers, and people with jobs. We want you to understand, guys, how important it is to network and some ideas and, how we do this networking. Me and Dana are always talking about networks, and you guys know how I am. I'm the creator of the Career Search Network. So, I'm going to throw that word. And what's my major word, Dana?
Relationships.
I'm getting close to the screen so I can say relationship.
Yeah, I'm getting some light on
Tim Glatz has heard me talk about that. But let's see who we got with us. We've got, of course, we got Tiffany Carlin. We got Marcel with us. Yep. Good morning, Marcel. We've got Joelle Fry. Hey,
Joelle. We got Mez.
We've got Mez. We got Mez. Mez
awesome.
is the hype lady. believe me, guys, you want Maz on your team. She
Yes.
supports anything that you're doing. If it's
I
the
love
right
it.
thing, if it's not the right thing, Mez ain't involved. Her name is Meg Rose Caterio. And
Big
we
hearts for
love
our
you,
listeners.
Christina Matthews. Oh my goodness, Sharon Luckett. And we got Cindy Copeland. Hey, Cindy Copeland. Hopefully, I will see you later on this tonight for dinner. We have a little group, guys. We have fun, y'all.
Oh,
Joel
I
Fry,
love it.
we know
That's
you're at work,
great.
but Joel got a job, and Joel's at work, and she's still hanging out. She's still
See,
supporting.
how great is that?
Uh huh.
Still, you know what, Foster? That shows how wonderful of a team we have,
See
or
that?
you
See that?
have in the
Girl,
network, and why it's so valuable to be a part of your network.
it is. We're like a big family. Honestly, guys, we really are. We're like a big family. We operate like that. We
Yeah,
take
we
care
do.
of each other. In the network, when you network, you'll meet somebody. Everybody knows somebody, knows something going on, crossed over something. Jules Ryckebusch is with us. He's going to be talking with us about that. And as soon as Foster shuts up here, I got something that I got something I want to share with you guys. And those are landings. Guys, we have had a plethora of land. This network is huge. Man, I tried to get a serious face when I said that. This network is huge. So let's see. My buddy Cindy Rayleigh is head of people over at Med Analytics. She is a recruiter as well, but she is in HR now. I mean, well, you never get away from recruiting. So congratulations, Cindy Rayleigh. If you guys are interested in Med Analytics, she is going to be our huckleberry there. We develop these relationships as people are going into these companies, and we maintain those things. Okay, who else we got? Let's see. We've got Steve Akubian. Oh, Steve is in our Atlanta, one of our Atlanta groups. We got 3 or 4 of them out there. Atlanta's got a big old network. And Ray Tan, congratulations to both of you guys in Atlanta. We got Trudy Wade, who's VP of Finance at Ready Computing. We got Paul Haggerty as a senior people ops at VCKO. And Tina McClellan, you got a job, didn't you? You're a lead product strategy analyst at Kroger. You guys ever heard of the Kroger company?
I mean, I only shop there every week.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
Just a couple.
Yeah. Rita Rand is senior advisor now she is at Procom professional coin galleries, guys. Have you guys ever seen a company that specializes in coins? That's pretty cool.
I
Do
mean,
we
that
even
is
use
cool.
coins anymore? Is that even part of it? No, yeah, we do. Bo Velarde, we appreciate you, man, letting us know you're a CSR retention at Assurant. So we've got him over at Assurant. Now, I want to share with you guys a couple of jobs that companies have shared with us. These are network jobs. That means that we have wonderful connections inside, usually in the HR departments in the C level. The first one that I'm going to talk about is Clampett Paper Company. A lot of you guys are familiar with Clampett Paper Company.
I love that it's called Clamp It. It brings me back
Clampett,
to
I
the
love it.
Beverly Hillbillies.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that's probably what everybody's thinking when they
Just
hear that.
clamp it in his paper.
Clampett Paper Company. Okay, so Clampett Paper Company, guys, is looking for a manager of customer credit. So a manager of customer credit, this person is going to report to the CFO. I
Pull up
know the
our
CFO
jobs.
because the CFO is out of our network as well. And so this person is going to be responsible for credit policies and procedures throughout the company. And let me see,
Yeah.
I wrote something
And
else,
I'm
man. You
pulling
got
up my jobs while you're talking, Foster.
it.
I'll be
Oh,
ready to
good,
go
good, yeah.
after you.
I mean, you're gonna track customer balances and all that stuff when it deals with credit and making sure that the policies of the company of Clampett Paper Company is taken care of. Karen Kreitz, guys. Karen Crites is a very, very nice lady. I know that Karen, we've gone crazy with that word Karen, but she is a Karen, but she's not a Karen. Karen
Oh, nice. We
Kreitz.
got Genius Jen on here. Jen Simmons.
That's right. That's right. So Karen is the HR director over there, and her email address, guys, is kkrites, Crites, at clampett.com. Now,
Ooh.
You guys make sure that you link in with me if we're not already linked in. If you are interested in this job, if you know someone that you want to share that job with, share my information with them. Guys, Foster Williams, please link in with me on LinkedIn. My number is 817. I don't have an 817 anymore. That was my number when I was a kid. It's 214-728-6930. Let me tell you again, that's 214-728-6930. And you know what? My email address, the best one, probably the best one to contact me is foster.williams@sbcglobal.net. Now, this job and the other two jobs that I'm going to mention to you guys quickly is on the website Search for You. That's search, SEARCH, the number 4, the letter U, inc.com. At Search for You. Now, when you go to my LinkedIn profile, you can see Search for You all over my LinkedIn profile. So if you ever forget that, then you can go there to find me and it. We have network jobs like this one on that website. So yeah, I know you guys are used to uh, apply online. There's nothing wrong with apply online. Every company out there has applicant tracking systems, but I think it adds a little value if we know who we got to deal with for that particular job. What do you
Yeah,
think about that, Dana?
I do. I agree completely. And I apologize for interrupting earlier. I just saw someone come in. I think, and honestly, I will tell you, the companies that Foster is referring to, these are legit organizations that are truly hiring and looking for great talent. And having a verified opening, not just something posted on a website, even though it needs to be on a website, but
Yeah,
hearing about it in real time is so valuable. So please
it
head out
is.
there. Yeah, yeah.
It's
And
very valuable. Joel Fry says it always helps to have someone on the inside.
it does.
That's what
Yeah,
we try to do here. We
yeah.
try to build these relationships so that we can do that. What's you got up there? I'm trying to read that. Hi,
Hi,
Joel.
Joelle.
Oh,
I love it. I love
Jules
it.
remembers Joel. Hey,
Yeah.
Joel. Jules Ryckebusch says, "Hey, Joel."
So
Okay,
I'll
guys.
mention,
Two
did you
more
have more jobs? Sorry.
opportunities. These are really, really good opportunities here.
Okay.
I want to share with you because out in Roanoke, guys, Roanoke is a little bit north of the
But it's
Metroplex,
growing.
close to Denton. If
Mhm.
you're familiar with Denton, just a little bit south of Denton, north of us. So they need there's a company called Saddle Creek Logistics. A lot of you guys are familiar with. They have a 60, 70, 80,000 square foot warehouse out there. And that's what they do is logistics for a great number of companies. They move things through. They get stuff to you guys. They need a fulfillment manager. So a lot of you guys that are familiar with, I guess Amazon has these big fulfillment centers. This is the same thing, guys, only it's not Amazon. It's Saddle Creek Logistics. And this fulfillment manager needs to have 5 years of experience in a fulfillment setting or distribution setting. You guys will be building a team of supervisors that look over the warehouse, make sure that the trucks get loaded and unloaded and basic warehouse stuff. But this is a management opportunity, and you guys will be surprised what it pays. So,
Cool. Love
uh,
it.
and then they need a distribution manager, which is much the same type of functionality as the fulfillment manager, but it requires a greater amount of years of experience. 8 years of experience, to be honest, and then if you have had 4 of those years in a fulfillment center, or you are familiar with the fulfillment industry, then that's what they want to see. Okay,
Awesome.
and let's see. Oh, did I put okay? The person to contact, guys. Share these opportunities, but you remember you can call me. It's on the website. It's on Search for You. You can see all the whole posting that I don't have time to read right now is on Search for You. Uh, Denise Doty, Denise Denise Doty at sclogistics.com. The SC is Saddle Creek, of course. We're talking about Saddle Creek Logistics. Wonderful company. we have 4 people that are over in that company that work there in management. So we got the connections. But Denise is the recruiter, and you guys connect with Denise. If you can't remember all of this, of course, you guys can watch our show later on because we are on YouTube, and you guys can go back to YouTube and hear me talk about these things. You probably don't want to hear my voice. You hear me. That's all I do. Y'all talk to me all the time. Probably 65. Need to hear from Dana.
Well, real quick, I'm not going to go into all the details, but I want to
Go,
let
go,
you
go,
know
go, go, go.
as a as a talent acquisition manager at Galderma for the U.S. Galderma is based here in Dallas, Fort Worth. We actually have a couple exciting roles. I want to spread the word on. We have a great executive admin role. We have a vendor supply chain specialist. We've got a director of insights and analytics, distribution clerk, VP coordinator and special projects, which is like a high-level executive admin, Congress and events exhibit specialist, and a couple distribution center operators. So we've got a lot more positions, but these are some great opportunities here in the Dallas-Fort Worth. They're paying very competitively, great progressive organization, excellent benefits. If you go to galderma.com, we have all of these positions posted.
Oh, awesome.
If you want to apply to any of them, just when you ask how you heard of us, you can say referred by me, and that way I can make sure that anybody that applies through the radio show, I can say, hey, this is going to be a great person. Please take a look at them, etc.
Yeah.
And I just want to align with Foster and say we're so excited for all of our viewers, and we're so excited for those joining the show. Christine Matthews, Joelle Fry, Jen Simmons, Mezmez, even those that are currently and say
you guys, chime in and let us know you're there. We've got a lot of listeners that we never even hear from.
Yeah, and it's just so great. We've got one of our Sharon Lukic, and again Marcel Tennyson has been on our show a couple times, and everybody
a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And I feel like the people in our network and the people that join our show, they're phenomenal individuals that anybody would be blessed to connect with, that have great different uniques, interests, and passions. That can not only potentially help you network, which is the hot topic of our show, but could bring a lot of value to your lives. So note all the people on the side. Feel free to reach out to them as well. They're great quality individuals. And again, the theme of our show is networking, right, Foster?
That's
right. So
we
really, really want to make sure that we're taking the opportunity to lock arms with our listeners, our viewers, because they're part of this, right? I mean, we might be doing
some family,
but they're family, and we wouldn't have the show without them. But I guess that, you know what, we're at 11:22. We probably need to get some advice from our expert of this half hour.
I want to introduce you guys to my buddy Jules. Now, Jules and I are Facebook buddies, and we like some of the same music. And he knows that I'm a space nerd, so I share some of my Hubble Space Telescope pictures with him and all kinds of stuff. But guys, Jules has been for years an executive in healthcare, in the marketing space, and in technology applications in that marketing space for companies in telecom. Spent years, I don't remember how many years. How many years at Stryker did you spend?
So I was with Stryker for 16 years, just under 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Johnson & Johnson, running an advanced visualization piece of it for arthroscopy for the next couple of years, and retired from J&J and came back here to be with you, Foster.
All right. You know what happened, guys? Jules found out about the network. He plugged in and he said, hey, this makes a lot of sense. While I am in job search, I'm going to have some fun helping other people. Our motto is hope. Help one person every day. You know what?
I love it.
You can help more than one person every day. That's okay. Jules has done that. So, Jules, tell us a little bit tell us how you found the network and some of the things that were very valuable to you that locked you into the network, into an arena where you are now, where you spend the time helping folks, and that's what you like to do.
Yeah, I totally love it. So here's what's interesting. Like my career goes beyond that. I was in the Navy for 20 years, and then
That's awesome.
yeah, so did technical stuff there. I was on submarines, nuclear power, all that fun stuff. And I didn't want to do anything related to that. So, I got an MBA before I got out and stumbled into a job with Stryker. And I say stumbled as in, I got a resume and there's some people on base would help with that, and then went to hiring conferences. So I had that job before I actually got out of the Navy, had a retirement ceremony, knew I was starting to work. So flash forward to the role I was with Stryker was eliminated in 2017. And I understand business-wise why they did it. Had a great tour there, a great stint. So I found myself, in my mid-50s going, I've never actually looked for a job before other than back in high school where you filled out a one-page paper application, and if you were standing in front of the person at McDonald's, they either hired you on the spot or they didn't, right?
Yeah.
So, I had a job placement service that, they helped with my resume getting that going, but I wasn't connecting with other people and finding what I wanted to do, or, come Monday afternoon, you've already searched for everything you're looking for, and then you're going, what do I do now? So they sent me over to the South Lake Focus Group and told me there was a good group of people there. And that's where I found you and Judy and, the rest of the people. And I was in the right place, right? Because I was job hunting, surrounded by people, guess what? Are doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So, got an accountability group, found people in healthcare. That's where Judy came into it. And what's interesting is it took me, longer than I expected, but I landed the job that I wanted. I didn't settle.
That's awesome.
Yep. Took me away, unfortunately, to the Boston area for a couple of years. I didn't like it up there that much. Food was great. Wife hated
different
it.
weather.
Yeah, different weather for sure. So anyway, the networking part was really helpful for me, and and then even when during my Stryker days, I was on the interviewing side as a hiring manager, and then and all that. So I knew what a good candidate looked like coming in, and the ones that we hired. And then I kept in touch with Judy the whole time. And I'll never forget this, the classic interview question. I've been at J&J in their sports medicine business for like 2.5 weeks. And they put me on an interview schedule for a project manager coming in. And, you throw the question out there at the end, do you have any questions for us? Because it was kind of a panel interview, a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. And the kid goes, so how long you been working for J&J? And I was like, 2 weeks, But I remember like going through that whole, the scenario. The interview was great. It was follow-up questions. He used the STAR format, all that. We can talk about that in a bit. And then, I just kept in touch with Judy throughout that time. And when I was coming back to Texas to retire, she's like, hey, you got to come back. I'm like, I will. Like, I really had a passion for it. And I love coming in and helping people. And, it's interesting, the networking thing, there's sort of a perception sometimes of like, oh, well, that person got hired because, they were friends with the director of finance or whatever. Part of it is that, but part of it's like, hey, the director of finance knows you, knows you're an accounting person, knows you're a quality engineer, whatever it is. And they catch wind in the company. Hey, we need a new quality engineer. I'm like, oh, well, I know somebody, right? I will help you solve your problem. I know this person and they're good. And that's what it's all about. And you're the one that jokes about it. It's not, what it's who you know.
That's right.
But it's the fact that the person that knows you knows what you can do. So you can have the world's best resume, sit at home all day long, polish that thing. And if no one knows it exists, or your LinkedIn profile isn't up to date, or no one finds you, you're not going to get hired. Right.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Nothing makes me happier than someone on the Thursdays there or whatever, coming back and saying, hey, I landed. Thank you. And, I'm going to give a shout out to Joelle here, who's on there. Love you, Joelle. So she came back into South Lake job hunting, and the two of us just kind of clicked, and we went and had coffee, because that's one of my favorite things to do, with someone and get to know them better. And she commented to me that, you know, she's got a daughter roughly the same age as my son, who I'm certain she did a really good job raising her daughter, as I tried to do a good job raising my son. And it dawned on the two of us that our kids are really smart in one sense and really don't know a lot of other things sometimes. And I don't mean that disparagingly to her daughter or my son, but a lot of people that come into the network, you know, they were in the position I was in where, you know, they haven't looked for a job in a while, and
it's been a while.
they're not sure what to do. So, you know, one of the things I was able to do, the other thing I really like to do is like write things and put presentations together. That's probably why I was in marketing. So, based on all of the common things I would see helping people with resumes, you know, I put together a 2-page thing on how to polish a resume, or, you know, what it needs to be. Shared that with Joelle and a couple other people I've met from the network and got feedback, and was able to give it to my son to help him out and other people at South Lake Focus Group. But it's interesting because if you think about it, your resume has one purpose: to get you an interview.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, Dana, your talent acquisition, if you read through the first 3 or 4 sentences, you're like, ooh, I like this person.
Yeah.
There's something there. You're going to keep reading. And if you read through it and you're like, the first thing it tells you is this person is proficient in Microsoft Office, you're like, you know. But, you know.
We see them all.
I know. And so what's fascinating to me, and Foster, we've talked about this before, is, you know, I put people in a couple categories that come in. There's the ones that just, they need a little polishing up and help and guidance, and boom, they're out there and they land. You see the raw talent when they come in at any level.
Is that music I hear? We are going to go to commercial. Jules, stay with us, and then when we come back, we're going to all grill Tim. We're going to have fun with Tim. He's a job seeker.
Tim, we're not going to grill you.
Yes.
We'll be back.
All right.
See you in a minute.
Accelerated Graphics and Signs, 101 East Renfro, Sweet C in Burleson, Texas, can handle all of your graphic needs. Need a banner or promotional products for your business? They got you covered. T-shirts and caps for your group. All you need to figure out is if you want them screen printed or embroidered. How about some slick graphics on that hot ride to make you stand out from the crowd? Accelerated Graphics and Signs can handle anything you throw at them. Located at 101 East Renfro Street, Sweet C in Burleson, Texas, go in and see them. Call them at 817-991-0523 or reach them on the web at www.acceleratedgraphics.net. They are loud and proud and want to serve you. Accelerated Graphics.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Welcome back to the Jobfather with Dana Gingerich and her much less recruiter friend Foster Williams. That's me. Hey y'all. So guys, here's what I want you to do. We're going to meet Tim Glatz. We're going to have fun. This section of the show is called Jobseeker Spotlight Companies. Tim has been selected out of thousands, believe it or not. This network is huge, y'all. And I want Tim to tell you, he's a project manager, and I want him to tell you a little bit about his experience. But before we do that, I want you guys to do something for me. I want you guys, when you are on LinkedIn, go to Joe Co Community Radio. You just heard the man say that Joe Co is live 365. It is. I love the concept behind the community radio that Tiffany provides for us here at JoCo. But go to LinkedIn, pull up JoCo Community Radio. Our LinkedIn page will pull up, and I want you guys to get on there. I want you guys to
Please.
like and share and connect and do all of that stuff on that page. Follow that page. That's what a word I'm looking for. Make sure to follow us, guys, on that page. This show and many other shows are on JoCo 24/7, 365. Oh, is it 365 days in a year? Is that where that came from, Dana?
Maybe so.
Okay, so my week jokes. Okay, week. We still got Joel. Cool. Hey, Joel. We're back from the cliffhanger. So, guys, I want you to meet Timothy Glatz. There he is right there. It's okay if you call him Tim. He won't get mad. He's kind of a tall guy, but he won't get mad. But Tim's a product manager, and it's kind of interesting. I want Tim to tell us a little about his experience in product management, because IT and technical product management is different from some of the business type of product management that we are familiar with. So, Tim, tell us where you live and tell us about product, man. Tell us what you've been doing, man.
Great. Well, thanks, Foster. Thanks, Dana, for having me on. And a big shout out to Jules. Jules is just very approachable, very, very helpful.
Man, Jules is the man, 50 grand.
Man, 50 grand. I love it.
So thanks for having me on. And I'd like to go over what is a product manager. That's the type of position I've been in and looking for. And, I came across something that says it this way, Foster, and I know you like basketball and sports, so I thought I'd relate it to that. There's two things a product manager likes to do, and that's answer these two questions. What game are we playing, and how do we keep score?
Oh, I like it.
Okay.
So, that's good.
So as a product manager, I've done that for the past 7 years in a data center company, and just got to see explosive growth and be part of that. I helped manage the Americas, so Canada, Brazil.
Very large data centers. I think, $1.8 billion data center?
Yeah, we grew the business over those 7 years to $1.8 billion per year in revenue, basically doubling the amount of assets we had, data centers that we had, from about 51 to 104 data centers. I had the privilege of both launching new builds, so going to market with those new data centers that we built ourselves, as well as being part of acquisitions, acquiring data centers from Bell Canada in Canada, and Axtel in Mexico, and even Verizon in the United States.
Oh yeah, that was my stuff, man.
Exactly.
So you from stem to stern, from the rooter to the tutor, is what my dad used to say. The full life cycle. You can go in and you can build that data center according to the specs that they need, and the responsibility and the the performance that they need to get out of that thing, huh?
Exactly. So planning a data center is no small feat. Thankfully, we've got much smarter people on teams, like architects and design engineers, operations to run them. Once they're built, though, it's a big to build them, and then you have to develop a marketing plan to fill them up with customers. And so that's part of the product manager's responsibility is to make sure there's a return on investment in the time that we all agreed would be equitable for the company. So just a little bit about myself, if I could. 3 things I'd really like to kind of drive home: who I am, what I've done for companies, and what am I looking for.
Right.
So what I've done, who I am. I've worked at 4 companies in my career, in 3 cities: Chicago, Madrid, and now Dallas. And
Madrid,
I
wow.
worked in small, medium, and large size companies. And so that's a little bit about myself. What have I done for these companies? Well, in Madrid, I started off as a teacher and teaching English as a second language. I did it for the international experience. It was great. It was a lot of fun. Learning a new language, Spanish, and then teaching English. But then I came back to the States and worked for a company called AC Nielsen. You might know them as Nielsen Ratings for TV.
Oh, yeah.
Did their market research for large consumer packaged good companies like Kraft and Sargento cheese and a number of other companies like that. Got to know the kind of business world that way. And then I moved over to AT&T. I was blessed to be able to work there for 10 years.
Is that where the data center stuff started?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, they're definitely into the data center space as well. I got my feet wet on the telecom side first as a financial analyst, and helped develop and own compensation plans. And I look at one compensation plan. I said, hey, I think I want to do that and challenge myself in doing that. And so I stepped into the technical sales role.
Oh, yeah.
After I did that for about 7 years, and stepped over then to Equinix, worked there for 14 years, 7 years as technical sales and 7 years as product manager.
Wow.
And it was great learning new industries is one thing I would say.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of fun to learn and see companies excel during the times that I've been there, and being part of that, being part of teams that like to achieve. What else would I say? So what am I looking for now? I'm looking for a product manager position within a medium to large size company. My specialty is complex products. One of the things I like to say is making the complex simple.
Oh, yeah.
I might not have the greatest aptitude in the room, but I make up for it in attitude. And
that does make out. Yeah.
You can't teach
Well said.
attitude.
Well said.
You hit the nail on the head. You cannot teach that. That's so critical.
Yeah, you can't teach that one.
So
Joel said you're versatile. How about that?
Thanks.
You got to meet Joe. You really got to meet Joel. I'm going to make sure that you guys get linked in with each other.
Great. I saw her the other day when she announced her landing.
Okay.
So Tim, do you have target companies in mind? And I'll tell you why I'm asking that when you're done.
Yeah.
Good question.
The interesting aspect is data centers would be one target industry because of the experience there. Technical products in general, so cloud providers, data centers, as I mentioned. And then I'm also looking at the airline industry, aviation industry specifically. So I'm looking at Boeing and a number of large companies like that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hey, Tim, we have connections at Meta. And boy, I said Meta. I threw you guys off, didn't I? Facebook. They got a big data center out there in Alliance. And let's you and I make sure and talk about that in the coming days.
Sure.
There are a couple of opportunities out there that I thought I saw about 2 weeks ago. So there might be something we can dig in there that might be of interest to you in your job search.
Great. Thanks, Foster.
Yeah, and Tim, I want to add one thing real quick, and really good background on you, and like I would hire you in a heartbeat for a bunch of different things. One of the questions that I ask people when they come in job hunting, and Foster's running this too, it's like, the deer in the headlight kind of look when they first come in. And then you say, well, what do you want to do? What are you looking for? And the term that some people throw back at me, and I want to throw this out there, is never say this, is I'm industry agnostic. I can work anywhere.
Oh my God, don't do that one.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you can't, right? Like, obviously, you can take any technical product and run with it. You've got the skill set and the talent, but you really need to narrow it down. And I think you did a good job on that. And the reason I say that is, you know, when you fill out a resume and you're applying for a company, that company has a specific job. They have a data center that may be different from everyone else's because, I don't know, they think I'm in the finance industry, not Facebook. So, you know, my security requirements are different than everyone else's, and you don't have any of that on your resume, even though you'd be flawless for them. So, you know, make sure you narrow things down. And if you apply to Boeing, look at what their regulatory aspect is and make sure there's something on your resume that speaks to that.
Yeah, that's great advice. Yeah. One thought there as I go through Boeing is applying like the software development knowledge that I have specific to Boeing. On the Amazon side, applying the data center knowledge, not necessarily cloud and their cloud stack, but they obviously have data centers that they own and operate, as well as lease from other providers like an Equinix, and specifically targeting that aspect because Amazon's such a big company.
Yeah.
Great advice, Jules.
Yeah. And then look at, like, the other thing you can do is Google product manager and Boeing and see what comes up. And the reason I say that is I ran into this. So from the med device space, and I was a product manager for certain things as I moved up. The product manager is the person in marketing that kind of owns it from the concept piece, works with the surgeons, whoever, to get like the functional specs in, battles with R&D to make sure they actually include them and all that stuff, and then launches it. And you've got kind of the upstream part of the product design, downstream of like your marketing and selling it and promoting the features. And then when I went to J&J, the product manager at J&J was almost the opposite. It was a supply chain role. So you would go to the, you know, the equivalent of Apple would be like, here's the iPhone 12 and, you know, or med device, whatever. And we're going to make these for 12 years. That's built into our financial model. So your job as a product manager is to make sure for the next 12 years, every component in there is available, sourced, compliant, et cetera, including where, you know, maybe you need to buy 10,000 of these up front and store them somewhere because it's the critical component. But to, you know, no one at J&J looked at a product management as a marketing function. They looked at it as an operations supply chain function.
You know, Tim, as Jules was talking, you guys know Mike Ray, who is a leader at South Lake Focus Group. And by the way, all of you job seekers, go to southlakefocusgroup.com and check out the meeting details. Come and visit with us on Thursday morning out here in South Lake. You know, because it has been the premier group since, oh my goodness, I got started doing this stuff the way that I do it now since 2007. I think I've been a leader at South Lake Focus Group. So you want to check out southlakefocusgroup.com. But what I was thinking about is, as Jules was talking, I was thinking about our buddy Mike Ray. Mike Ray, you guys, I know you've probably met Mike, Tim. Let's, you and I, in our talks, we are going to find a target industry. We're going to find a target company in that industry. Mike Ray then, Mike teaches reference solutions. It is a software that we use in order to find, if you work for a certain company, Dana will hopefully shake her head up and down on this one. If you work for a certain company, you go to work for one of the competitor companies that does the same thing, it makes sense for Dana and I to talk to you because you already have experience doing the industry and a lot of times the same technology. And so we want to find where those companies are. Okay, I got laid off from this ABC company over here. Well, we want to find out, are there other companies like ABC? And geographically, are they close around here? You know, that sort of thing. All of that type of information can be found on by the utilization of reference solutions. And Mike Ray is the guru. And Pete Hernandez, who is with us right now, is with Mike as they travel around the country teaching about job seekers, this is Reference Solutions. Is this the reason why you ought to use it? And
Yeah.
you can get it, guys, at your local library. It's very, very expensive.
Love it.
Own. But if you got a library membership, guess what? Hey, you can library
Hey.
stuff. Money go. So, but Dana and I are going to have Mike Ray and Pete on the show probably maybe in a couple of weeks to talk one more time about Reference Solutions, because it is, as a recruiter, God, back when I was looking for a job, I wish I had that type of software back there.
I know, right?
It uses government. Y'all get scared when I say government, don't you? SIC
government
code.
cheese.
Every company has a government code, and you can find through the utilization of those codes, you can find other companies that do the same thing. So if you and I get a target, we kind of got a target. Yeah. Data center has been your area of expertise. And you absolutely can operate and get a job outside of data center. It don't have to be data center, but we will focus on that industry and find out those companies are. Then when we find out those companies, we can go to the Metas, we can go to the Amazons, we can go to wherever those big data centers exist, and we might find an opportunity there for you. But we got to know where to go look. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, and I'm doing all this talking, and you're supposed to be talking more about you. Hey, Tim, where do you live?
I live in Irving. So
perfect.
What part of Irving?
In Las Colinas.
That's where I live. I love that area.
Love the area. I'm relatively new to the area after having lived in Chicago basically all my life, except for my 2 years in Spain.
Cubs and Bears fan?
Yeah, exactly.
Woo!
So, Dana, what we need to do, I've got Tim's information. We need to call Tim when we're going to dinner, and
Tim.
we can sit down and we can
Chicago.
we can pick Tim's brain.
But yeah, or go to a
that'd be great. And one of the reasons why I moved to this area was job opportunity at the time for my family, for my kids. And my son just graduated from college and landed a job
That's
a week after graduating.
What college did he go to, Tim?
He went to University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana.
He's an Illini, huh?
That's right.
Foster, that's where Sean and Shelly are at. My best friends are in Champaign-Urbana right now.
Really?
Right.
Oh, wow.
That's a good college that he graduated from.
Yeah, it's a great school.
Finished
Jen
with the
says that she misses Las Colinas, and then Maz wants to know, what part of Spain were you in? Did you say Barcelona?
It's Madrid.
Madrid, that's right. Madrid. Awesome. I can say it right because I am. My mom's family is from Mexico, so I can say Madrid, even though the Spanish in Spain is a whole lot better than the Spanish we use in Mexico. I'm
Castilian
not
Spanish,
them my peoples.
Foster's a little bit of everything.
Great, yeah.
My mom's family was from Guanajuato, Mexico.
Oh, that's so cool.
Great. Well, yeah, I truly loved Madrid and the whole Spain experience. It was fresh out of college at the time, and it just really helped kind of round out my cultural awareness and love for Spanish food and things like that.
Paella.
Mm-hmm.
See, you guys didn't know Job Search was about food. If you guys don't get involved with food, you don't live, and you can't look for a job if you're all weak and ain't ate nothing and skinny.
That's right. I mean, how do you have it? I get angry. It's not a fun time.
So yeah, we've got some things that I'll be more than glad to help you do, Tim. I don't want to get in your way, but between Jules and myself and Dana, we'll offer any kind of help that we can offer.
Shoot, we're neighbors. I love Las Colinas.
Yeah, you guys are neighbors, so yeah, we're gonna get together and pick brains. Yeah,
I'm just Royal and Riverside, right in that area. So,
and guys, that is what this is what this network is all about. Jules mentioned it earlier. You get a chance to meet people and build relationships. You do not have to be gregarious like Dana and Foster. I'm going to tell you guys something that you don't believe. You will never believe it. Dana and Foster are introverts. How about that?
I'm not. You are.
Foster,
Yeah,
there's
you are an introvert.
no
You told me that
no
was
way
night.
you're an introvert.
I am the biggest extrovert. I climb walls.
I am an
I
introvert.
love
Believe it or not,
people.
I am an introvert. Well, I was an introvert. I'll put it that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Christian was the introvert, and I think that's
Now that I
where
can
you're
see.
getting
Yeah.
that from. Yeah,
I can see that in her.
I came out of the womb talking. I really did, and I got in trouble all through school for talking too much. But you know what? It just showed the flaws in our school systems because my ability to talk has served me well in my career. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, look at what Joel just shared with us. Now we're getting away from. We're going to get back to Tim, guys. But Joel just said that University of Texas golf team won the Natties. They won it all. So
that's amazing.
Let me put up my Longhorns, even though I am a Baylor Bear, UCLA Bruin, and then a North Texas Mean Green Eagle. But I tried to get into Texas, and they rejected me. So I still like Texas.
We went to
because
UCLA.
my cousin married Earl Campbell. So I have no choice but to like
Well,
Texas.
Foster,
That
my
is so
my
awesome.
son just graduated from UT Austin.
Really?
Yeah.
And so this is interesting. He's got a degree in economics, and he walked with the School of Economics. And the lady that gave the keynote speech, it was so interesting. It was perfect from the perspective of a PhD economist, as in the kids weren't really pumped and excited because it wasn't like inspirational. It was literally what to do in life. And she gave her 4 tips. The number one was networking. Keep in touch with all of
Look at that.
Keep in touch with all the kids you liked in the class, the professors that you were interested in, and keep that going the rest of your career.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jules was telling me about that lady. And while we're talking about it, up in Illinois, which Chicago, you did live in Chicago. Chicago was at 1, 2, 3 companies. Chicago was my stomping ground. That's what I had responsibility for up there. But guys, I'm gonna tell y'all something about Jules. Jules is a submariner, guys. He is a submarine dude, and that's kind of neat. Now, Tim, is there something special in life that you have done that you like to tell about? Because we're getting to know
First of all,
you.
he lived in Chicago and he's a Cubs fan. That's big enough.
Did you say you were a Cubs fan, Tim?
I am a Cubs fan. I don't know. I don't know that makes me super special, but at least special.
Cubs win. I used to love to hear that. Cubs win.
Cubs win. Go Cubs, go.
So is there something special about Tim that while we're getting to know you, companies are getting to know you? We talked about that intangible factor, and is there anything special about Tim that would be cool for us to know?
I like travel. The times that I've traveled internationally have really always been learning experiences for me, experiencing new cultures, new food, new people. And so I would say that, been privileged to do some of that traveling in my work career and recreationally as well. And it's always been a learning experience.
Hey, Tim, have you seen on Netflix Somebody Feed Phil? He goes to all these different countries and not only investigates some of the best cuisine, and it's not always like the most touristy, but you learn so much about the culture and things that just general touristy stuff you wouldn't. With your love for travel, you may really enjoy that as something to have on in the background in the evenings.
What was the name of it, Dana?
Somebody Feed Phil.
Somebody Feed Phil. No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's the guy that produced Everybody Loves Raymond. I mean, he's awesome, but I love travel too. And he travels to all these locations in the U.S. and just networks, builds relationships.
I watched a little bit of it, but I don't know that I have. So
Somebody Feed Phil. Is that what you said?
Awesome. Yes,
I'll have to watch
it is so good.
Well, I like the River Monsters guys. He travels all through. Catch these big dinosaur-looking fish with these big old teeth. Well, I like to travel too, Tim, and I have not been well traveled. As I say that, I have been to Jamaica, and of course, thanks to work, I've been to Canada and Mexico. Well, I had no choice to go to Mexico, but
your family's from there.
That's about the extent of my travels. Now, I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Australia or New Zealand.
Me too. Yeah.
Hey, Jules, which one should I go to, Australia or New Zealand, if I had a choice?
I would go to Australia, and then while you're there, zip over to New Zealand. So that was
Would you go to Perth, Adelaide, Victoria,
Sydney.
or would you go to the big old Sydney?
I would start in Sydney and then Brisbane and Melbourne. Just so you guys know,
Brisbane.
Sydney and Perth, it's like flying from New York to Los Angeles or 3,000
Oh, so
miles
it's like
apart.
a continent.
Yeah,
It's the whole continent. Yeah.
Joelle's at work. She's got to roll. Bye, Joelle. We love
Bye,
you.
Joelle.
Thank you for being here with us. Yeah. Have a good weekend.
That's so funny.
See, guys, you guys can have fun in your job search. Yeah, it's serious, but we're just people. I have never hired. Now, I've done most of my hiring for somebody else, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody get hired that didn't get along with the boss that hired them. I don't think we hire people that we don't like. I don't think we hire people
What
like
a concept.
that. So that's cutting us off, isn't it? Well, we went off on a tangent.
That's
you,
all
Kim,
right.
for
It was a
being with
great
us.
show.
Thank you, Jules, for being with us.
You're welcome.
And is that preliminary music? That music was too early. We're
I
still
have
going,
thousands
right?
of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian
We're
Faith
I don't
done.
think so.
publish their
Bye,
book.
y'all. See you next Friday.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Jules. Thanks,
Yeah,
Tim.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Go Cubs.
Freedom and flexibility.
Bye.
Go Cubbies.
Process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.